James Numbers here, and welcome back to another episode of the Political Freedom Fighters podcast. And this episode is going to be a little bit of a different episode because earlier this week, President Donald Trump did end up doing his State of the Union address for 2026 earlier this week, and the Democrats also made a response to it as well. And in this episode, I really wanted to go over an unaffiliated response. Yes, I really wanted to do an unaffiliated response to President Trump's speech and the Democratic response because I just felt like unaffiliated voters needed some representation because we're not represented in the North Carolina state government at all, and we probably never will because of our state's ballot access laws. But you know what? I digress. So with that being said, President Donald Trump's speech was literally like over an hour long, like almost 2 hours, I believe, and the Democratic response was like around less than 13 minutes, and I've managed to gather like 5 pages of notes and for the Republicans and 3 pages of notes for the Democrats. That's how much I've been paying attention to these speeches, and I actually wrote them all down in a Word document so that way I can go over everything that I saw during the State of the Union address. So yeah. At the beginning of the speech, Donald Trump actually said on the lines of, our nation is back, it's better than ever, which is a damn lie because the economy is not doing so well. It's not really doing good at all. He says that the economy is bigger, better, richer, stronger, all that stuff. Yeah, he said that, and that's pretty much a lie. And now that I think about it, wait a second, that sounded a lot like what Joe Biden said. That is very, very weird. Oh yeah, throughout the speech as well, there were also a lot of Republicans who were clapping for President Trump whenever he said something. They were going like, yes, they were like clapping mindlessly like freaking sheep because they wanted to make the president look good. In fact, they clapped way too damn much to the point to where like the speech was so much longer than it needed to be. Wait a second. Once again, that sounded like the Democrats when Joe Biden did his speeches. Already we are 2 for 2 for Trump comparisons to Joe Biden. So Donald Trump also did mention that this year is going to be the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence created in the United States, which created the founding of our country. And this year I've decided I'm going to celebrate that by interviewing third-party and independent candidates in the state of North Carolina, because being third-party and being independent is the most patriotic thing you can do, really. And yeah, Trump also did say that we are in the golden age of America, but really we're in the gilded age of America, and it's been happening for a while. It didn't start with Trump, and it's not going to end with Trump, most likely. And yes, it's true, Donald Trump did inherit a terrible economy from Joe Biden and all the other bad things that happened during the Biden administration, but things are still bad now. Oh yeah, and by the way, why the hell are you protecting people in the Epstein files? Seriously, I've been hearing a lot about the Epstein files for like years and years. Weren't the MAGA people literally ahead of their time on the Epstein files? I remember making a joke one time with some right-wingers saying that Epstein didn't oof himself. Sorry about that. They were the right-wing. A lot of right-wingers were literally ahead of their time on the Epstein files, and you chose to not deliver on that. Like, come on, dude. Are you serious? Oh yeah, anyways, he also says that inflation is plummeting, but prices are still pretty expensive. The economy is not roaring from what I have heard so far. So, yeah, I don't know where the hell you're finding these people who are describing themselves as rich, as he said in his speech. Like, where are you finding these people from? In Mar-a-Lago or something? Oh, wait, I heard that somebody got murdered in Mar-a-Lago recently. So, I did not pay much attention to that because who cares? Oh, yeah, and another thing that really happened, right? Some Democrat named Al Green was kicked out for the second time in a row for basically whatever the hell he did. I don't know exactly what he did, but whatever the hell he did, he was literally just grifting. It is just all it was just goddamn theater. Like, that's it. Like, he got kicked out twice in a row, all just to make himself look good and grow his public image within his party. And he's not the only one. U.S. Representatives Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib also went through a shouting match with Donald Trump. And wait a minute. Hold on a minute. That sounds like Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene doing the same thing with Joe Biden. Again. Why does that sound goddamn familiar? Oh, yeah, that's right. Throughout the entire speech, there were a lot of Republicans chanting, USA! 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 And yes, I know this is not unique to this speech. This happens like every year and all, but let's be real. The Republican Party is not a patriotic party at all. If you want a patriotic party, vote Constitution Party, okay? But, yeah, anyways, where were we? Oh, yeah, Trump also said we are not going back to where we were. We're not going back to where we were. We're moving forward. But, that's exactly what's happening right now in the country. Trump has already shown that he is a neocon, and he's still proving it by basically continuing to fund NATO, despite claims that he hates NATO when he doesn't. In fact, he even called NATO the friends of the United States during his speech. I wish I was kidding. No, NATO is not our damn friend. NATO is not our damn friends. NATO is literally the goddamn war machine. He even applauded Marco Rubio, who from I have heard from many people, I've heard that from a lot of people that he's a really, really big neocon. In fact, arguably the biggest neocon in the Republican Party. I also heard from him that he got like 100% of the confirmation votes in the U.S. Senate in order to appoint him to some position. And yeah, that is a massive indicator that Trump was never anti-war. And I'll be honest with you, if you are a third-party or unaffiliated voter, you probably already knew this, but if you didn't, now you know. Anyways, what else happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. Donald Trump did also say that there are 0 illegal aliens who were admitted to the United States under his administration, which is most likely a damn lie because, let's be real, illegal people come across the border literally all the time. I've heard that it may have gone down, but people are still entering the country illegally. It is impossible to get that numbers down to 0. This is not really to do with any president in particular. That's just the reality of there's too many damn people. After all, we are the 3rd most populous country in the world. And oh yeah, and some Republicans were also mad at Trump, like earlier last year, because Trump was starting to backtrack on some of his immigration policies, such as the HBV1 visas. And I'll be honest with you, I have no opinion on those visas like at all. I don't know much about these types of visas, and I really don't care. I could be swayed either way. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, what else happened during the State of the Union address? Oh yeah, he also said that our enemies are not scared, and oh no, he said that we are no longer the laughingstock of the world. And I'll be honest with you, our enemies are not scared at all. In fact, our country has once again become the laughingstock of the world. Like literally, we have become a fucking joke. Oh, sorry, we have become a joke once again. Like it is so sad. Our spirit is not restored. In fact, it still continues to be desecrated by the two-party system to this day, with the BS lawsuits and the ballot access laws and all that terrible stuff that we all know as third-party and unaffiliated voters. He says that we are no longer a dead country. I disagree. I think we are a dead country walking because freedom of speech is still not being respected in the United States. And I think we all know why. And there's actually like multiple reasons, really, but you get the idea. Mr. Trump also talked about the flow of fentanyl at the border going down. But here's the thing. The war on drugs is a failure and it will continue to fail. The drug war is still happening. Millions and billions of dollars are being thrown away into this failed project and people are still dying. It really sucks. Oh yeah! Oh my god, I forgot about this. Donald Trump actually also declared fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Remember when George W. Bush lied about Iraq having weapons of mass destruction? I do. That helped set off the anti-war movement of the 2000s. And since Trump is going to pull off a Bush, expect fentanyl overdose deaths to rise in the coming years. Yeah, they're not going down. Anybody who says that fentanyl deaths are going to be going down in the following years is going to be coping. Straight up massive cope. He also says that murder rates are the lowest in a long time, which, yes, it is true, but murder rates have actually always been going down since like 1991, with the exceptions of the years 2029 and 2021 due to the pandemic, which resulted in mass casualties, protests, and lockdowns. And oh yeah, he also gives out a background story like every president, just to make himself more relatable to the people than he really is. And this is also basically to distract us from the fact that many of us don't even trust our federal government or even our own state governments for the matter. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and throughout the speech, Donald Trump also talked a lot about how bad Joe Biden was, which he was, but, it was actually very ironic because he and the Republicans actually sounded a lot like Joe Biden and the Democrats during the speech. Like, a lot. Like, arguably, they actually literally covered up a significant portion of my document as I am reading this right now. But, oh yeah, he also bragged about inflation going down and that gas and food prices were going down. And I'll be honest with you, the prices are not that low at all based on what I have seen at the gas stations and the supermarkets. And he also bragged about the largest tax cut in the American history and the big beautiful bill, which actually turned out to be the big ugly bill, but you get the idea. He also bragged about no taxes on tips or overtime or Social Security. And he even bragged about making auto loans tax deductible if the cars were made in America. Yeah, he bragged about that. It's so funny. All this reminds me of when the Democrats bragged about the American Rescue Plan and the CHIPS Act and that monorail plan that they were going to invest somewhere in California or Nevada or wherever the hell it was. And Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan, which was a big disaster that Joe Biden had never recovered from. Democrats were praising him for that. Y'all remember that? Again, all this proves is that the Democrats and the Republicans are not different from each other. Like, come on. So what else happened that year? Oh yeah, that's right. Trump also said that mortgage rates were the lowest in 4 years and that they are falling. But the problem is, he actually decided to make 50-year low mortgages. He decided to make loans that last like a pretty long time in order to get the amount per year to be lower. You know what I mean? And yeah. What's the problem with that, you may ask? Well, the problem is many Americans will not be able to pay that back in their lifetimes because they will have to pay more money in the long run. So yay! Now we're going to be slaves to the federal government. Woo! Oh my god. Oh yeah, Trump also did talk a little bit about housing as well. Look, Trump, I know you and the entire federal government do not give a damn about affordable housing. I know from what I've heard that prices are still going up, which sucks. But the thing is, there really is not much of a plan to basically stop this. Look, there's actually so many options that you could do. You could do rent control. You could ease regulations, ease zoning laws. Really, anything that really works. Like at least come up with something better than just 50-year mortgages so that people pay more money in the long run. Sorry, but that's just my opinion on housing. He also mentions that the stock market is good. Of course you say that while everyday people are still struggling. He bragged about the Dow Jones reaching up to 50K and the S&P hitting 70K. Again, why does that sound familiar? Oh wait, the Democrats said the same thing when Biden was president. Again, already proving that there is no difference between Democrats and Republicans. And also, during one of the meetings on the Epstein files, Pam Bondi actually tried shifting the conversation to the Dow during a meeting instead of talking about the Epstein files, which, by the way, has nothing to do with her career in criminal law. I know, right? He also bragged about boosting pensions and retirement accounts, all while the national debt grows and the government is frequently shutting down to the point to where literally nobody cares anymore. I wish I was kidding. The government, how many times has the federal government shut down over my lifetime? it's basically a common occurrence that we are basically now used to. It's not a special event anymore. I am not fazed by it anymore. I find it weird that the media is finds the shutdown as, oh my god, oh, and they freak out over this government shutdown that really, who cares? It's so we're used to so many government shutdowns that it doesn't even faze us anymore. And I just wish the media would stop talking about the shutdowns and actually come up with some goddamn plans to make sure that doesn't happen again. Oh yeah, and by the way, Trump also bragged that he got more investment in the country, which I'll be honest, I do call massive cap on because we're certainly not feeling it at all. If it were true that the United States that did if it were true that the United States did receive more investment, then it would not need an explanation at all. We would just be feeling it. So, sometimes some things don't require an explanation. The results sometimes, here's the thing is, sometimes the results just speak for themselves. So, yeah, I honestly call massive cap on that. And he even bragged about adding more jobs as well. But, how many of those people left those jobs? And how many people have checked out? Again, that actually sounds a lot like Joe Biden because Joe Biden had said the same thing as well. Why does I don't know how many times I've talked about Joe Biden already and comparing him to Trump, but it's more than I should be saying right now. So that is already not good. Oh yeah, he even bragged about Venezuela being a new partner literally after bombing a boat, seizing the means of Venezuela's production. I wish I was kidding, but yes, he actually seized the means of Venezuela's production. Now, whether or not you agree if this is right or not, this does feel like socialism or communism, and you can judge that as you will. And he also he bragged about kidnapping the leader of a foreign country. Well, guess what? Their vice president is literally the president now, and she seems very similar to Maduro. So I don't know what Trump is talking about when he says that Venezuela is a new friend and a new trading partner. Socialism still reigns supreme in Venezuela, so yeah. And I do think that we will end up getting into a conflict in Venezuela as well. I do believe so, and this is pretty scary. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh my god. Donald Trump did also use his slogans as well. The same slogans that we all expected for him to use, like drill, baby, drill, and that we're going to end DEI, and that we're going to cut regulations, which I have yet to see any of that at all. He also said that our country is winning, even though it's not, and he also said a lot of lies about people saying we should stop winning. Yes, he said that. Apparently, according to Trump, he said that he heard people say that we need to stop winning, and I'm like, what? Wait, we're winning? What we're winning? Where's the winning? I don't see it. Like, are you blind? Are you blind or something? I don't know. Oh yeah, Trump also did his same usual attacks against the Democrats on the Green New Deal. He also did his shtick on open borders. He did his shtick on ending sanctuary cities. He also did his shtick on ending gender theory. He also did his shtick on the Democrats being crazy. He also did his shtick of rebuilding the military. He also did a shtick on Mexico, and he also did a shtick on the Space Force, some sort of space agency that Trump made during his first term that, let's be real, nobody cares about because it feels a lot like NASA, but I digress. And he also did a shtick on renaming Fort Bragg back to its original name after some other name that most people don't really give a damn about. But overall, all that was just a complete and utter grift. Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? Oh yeah, and Trump actually talked about a lot of people. He talked about the U.S. ice hockey team, the U.S. men's ice hockey team. He even gave one of them the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He also talked about a World War II soldier celebrating his 100th birthday. He also talked about a different U.S. soldier who rescued 165 people last year during a hurricane. He also talked about a woman who was actually who was struggling with getting a child and had to go through IVF to get some treatment. He also talked about a murdered cheerleader, and there's actually like a lot of people that he talked about, like a whole bunch of stories that people needed to hear for good or for bad. There was like a lot. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of those stories, all those stories, in fact, do need to be heard. I just wish it was not in the State of the Union. Because to be honest with you, I feel like as though these stories are only being used as a grift to basically promote themselves. And look, I understand, right? It's not just Trump that's doing this. Other presidents have done this before him as well, but goddamn, at the State of the Union, it just doesn't feel like sincere. You know what I mean? It just feels more like he's just doing this to promote himself. And every president's guilty of this, not just Trump. So, yeah, I'm not going to gripe too much about it because these stories do need to be heard. I just wish I'm sorry. I just wish this wasn't necessary. I just wish he did it with a different speech instead so that it would be more sincere. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. He also even bragged that the next Olympics will be in 2028 in Los Angeles for the Summer Olympics, which is true. And yeah, let's be real. I'm pretty sure the United States government is going to blow a lot of federal money onto it. All of that money is going to be wasted. That money will not be invested back to the people, and it will be labeled as for the greater good of society. Yay! That is not exciting. I think the United States government will throw money away on the Olympics. So there's that as well. Oh my god, I forgot about this as well. Trump also said that Washington, D.C. is now the safest city in the country and that there is no more crime in D.C. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that Washington, D.C. is actually safe? Are you sure that America's even safe in the first place? Do you not remember what happened to your boy Charlie Kirk? Or are you trying to move away from him because of the drama involving Erica Kirk? And there was a lot of drama that I've been hearing about from right-wing media in relations to Eric Kirk. And even some leftists have began reporting on this as well. I know you do because you talked about the revival of religion due to Charlie's assassination, and you even had his widow with you in your speech. I don't think the federal government supports freedom of religion, despite the freedom of religion being a part of our First Amendment. Look, let's be real. America First is done with Trump, and his coalition is falling apart. His approval ratings are literally dropping like flies, and the fact that you said that there is no more crime in Washington D.C. makes it very clear that you're just making all that crap up. And yeah, the Democrats are almost certain to take the U.S. House in 2026 because of stuff like this. So, yeah, great job. Oh yeah, another thing, right? He also bragged about the fact that the kids are going to be able to open up tax-free Trump investment accounts, which is basically where Trump is going to throw a lot of money into creating bank accounts for children to be able to go to college and all that stuff. So, basically, who is paying for that, right? Because, let's be real, that is not free. You know it, I know it, we all know it. I am actually very skeptical about this because the federal government is almost certainly going to pay for this. Our education system is a complete and utter disaster, and we really need to fix that first before we throw any more money into the problem. You know, this reminds me of school vouchers, which I am also skeptical of because they also require public money, just like public schools. When he said $100,000, yes, $100,000, that is a ton of money, two things actually came up. First, education is way too damn expensive, and therefore we should not be pressuring people to go to college in the first place. And two, holy crap, that is way too expensive for the United States government. This is a gamble, not an investment. Do not be fooled. Some people have always said that investing in education is an investment. And I'm like, no, it's a gamble because education doesn't always pay off. I mean, sometimes education pays off. It can build potential, but like building potential, right? That potential can create a lot of impact, but it can also not make a lot of impact at all, depending on what you do. So, yeah, I do apologize with my speech being very stuttery, but this is my first time doing this, and I am not a professional politician, so please forgive me. Oh yeah, he also bragged about tariffs as well, which actually has made a lot of stuff more expensive to buy. And I've been forced to deal with that myself already for quite a few times. And yes, he did his tariff shtick, and he basically attacked the Supreme Court for their ruling against most of his tariffs. So yes, there are still some tariffs that will still stand, and I think Trump has even said that he's going to increase some tariffs in response to the ruling. So yeah, look, it's not saving our country. You know what that's doing right now? It, along with a lot of other things, Trump is shifting the country left. That's right. Just like how Joe Biden shifted the country to the right, Donald Trump is shifting this country to the left. Good job, Trump. For someone who is supposed to be anti-left, you just made the country more left. So good job. So, what else happened? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing about tariffs. Trump also did mention that tariff money is going to replace income tax, but let's be real. We all know that is not happening because tariff money, the amount of money that we are collecting from tariffs is nowhere near the amount that we collect on income tax or corporate tax or even sales taxes at the state level for that matter. So that is not happening for sure. Oh yeah, that's right. He bragged about ending 8 wars, even though that is not true. He didn't even end a single war. And not oh yeah, and that's not even to mention, right? Remember that war with Israel and Iran that happened for 12 days? Yeah, that was started by Trump when he basically launched an attack against Iran. So yeah, so much for him being anti-war, right? Right. He bragged about obliterating Iran's nuclear program. Not only did some nuclear power remain most likely, but months later, Russia, yes, Russia, made a deal with Iran to build 4 nuclear power plants in the country. Yes, there's articles about it. I'm not making this up. So, yeah, so much for Russia getting along with us. We basically destabilized Iran into protests. And look, let's be real. I'm sure the Iranian government is bad, but that's our own fault. We helped create this damn system in the first place. Back in the 1900s with the Shah and all that stuff. So it's pretty bad. So, what else to talk about with foreign policy? Oh yeah, he talked about all the deals that he made, and what's the status of those deals right now? The Ukraine-Russia deal that he had promised to make has yet to really happen, and that war is still going on. Yeah, Russia is still taking land away from Ukraine. Yeah, Russia is probably going to win this war most likely, and it really sucks, but it is what it is. The Israel-Palestine conflict is also still going on as well, and let's be clear about this. This is a damn genocide. What's happening in Gaza is literally the same thing that's happening in Russia and Ukraine right now. This is a complete and utter genocide. Our entire war machine is a very, very, very genocidal in my opinion. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and he also mentioned Cambodia and Thailand. Look, Cambodia and Thailand were not even at war. All this was a damn border dispute. And I'll be honest with you, I think this is the only thing I believe about Trump. I do believe he actually ended the border dispute on Cambodia and Thailand. But I could be dead wrong. I have not done too much research on that since. So if I'm wrong, definitely let me know because this is an issue that I am not familiar with. He also talked about India and Pakistan as well. And yeah, India and Pakistan still have some very negative attention. There is still a lot of negative tension between India and Pakistan, especially with the border dispute of Jammu and Kashmir, which is a disputed region that they have been fighting each other on for decades now. So we'll wait and see what happens. And he also bragged about making a peace deal between Kosovo and Serbia, even though they were never at war during his time for president. And oh yeah, that's right. There are some people in Kosovo that are angry as well because some of their leaders are going to trial. So we're gonna wait and see what happens with that. He also bragged that he got a deal made with Egypt and Ethiopia, but here's the thing: they still have an intense border dispute that might still lead them to war. So That's not really valid at all either. He also said about Armenia and Azerbaijan, but they still also have an intense border dispute as well that could still lead them to go to war as well. So I don't know about that. Oh yeah, and he also bragged about the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda as well. But the problem is they are still actually fighting each other. And actually, despite being a small country, Rwanda is winning just because of how bad things are in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So it is almost certain that this conflict is not going to end. In fact, I'm pretty sure that conflict is going to be worse from here. Let's be real. There has not been peace through strength since World War II. In fact, it has been nothing but dictatorship through strength ever since World War II that has been dominating our foreign policy. That was a lot to go over when it came to foreign policy, which I do apologize. He bragged about healthcare, but let's be real, healthcare is still a complete disaster. Not to mention, the price of healthcare is still growing up. And he talks about price transparency as well, but I have not seen that in healthcare at all, based on what my parents have gone through. So we're still waiting on that. Oh yeah, and he also said that energy demand from AI centers could drive up utility bills. And he also introduced a ratepayer protection pledge to prevent electricity prices from going up. I'll be honest with you, I have not really heard about this plan before, and if it does work, I don't think it's going to make enough impact for people to care about it, because this is an issue that not a lot of people care about. And based on from what I've heard, this is a plan that he likely borrowed from Larry Sharpe, who is a libertarian who's currently running for governor of New York. So I hope this works. I think Larry Sharpe should have gotten some credit for it, but you know what? I digress. Even if it does work, I don't think the American people are going to care enough about it, because this is not a big issue that people care about. And I think people should care about it, because I believe that every issue deserves attention just the same, so that we can tackle all this at once. So anyways, what else did he talk about? Oh yeah, that's right. Trump said that he wanted to protect Social Security and Medicare. Yeah, he did say that. I know some people probably don't buy it at all, but that's what he said. And let's be real, these programs are way too damn expensive. He says he wants to protect them, but I do think that this is just a damn grift. He even said that he wants to match contributions to federal workers for their retirement accounts. I mean, yes, it is. Yes, it will help for at least federal workers, anyways. I mean, yes, it will help federal workers, but how are you going to pay for all of this? It is too damn expensive. What's the plan to basically pay for all this? Because is it going to be more debt? Because if so, it's not sustainable. That goes very contrary with your supposed plans on balancing the budget, which you don't care about. Again. Oh yeah, that's right. There was also bipartisan support when Donald Trump said that he will make sure that Congress will no longer profit from inside trading. But let's be real, nobody in the federal government actually cares about that. No, we will. I assure you that we will still have talks about insider trading 2 years later. I will bet money on it for sure. He also talked about what was happening in Minnesota and basically called out threw out a lot of negative comments to the Somali community, which I'll be honest with you, I think is just a complete grift in order to divide the public by getting them involved into some damn culture wars. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and he also announced a war on fraud, which let's be real, the war on fraud is just a damn grift that's going to fail, just like the war on poverty and the war on drugs. It's going to be a war on this. Anytime a president says we are going to declare a war on something, basically expect a lot of money to be wasted. Maybe you can expect a 10% of it actually being invested in, while the rest is just being thrown away, maybe. But yeah, this money is going to be thrown away most likely. Yeah, Trump doesn't care about balancing the budget, if you already didn't know. So yeah, it is apparent that Doge has completely failed. But we still have a very, very high national debt, and our deficits still continue to go up. So there's that as well. Oh my God, I forgot about this as well. Trump also said that Democrats cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Let's be real, that is not true at all. That is not true at all. But that would have been amazing, though, if they actually did that. if that were true, I would have actually gone further. I would have actually literally applied what happened to the Department of Homeland Security all the way to other departments like defense, transportation, healthcare, environment, the Department of Education, environment, like ICE, like everything. I would have applied that to, and I would have applied it everywhere. We need to cut literally everything. Everything. Everything needs to be damn cut. I'm sorry, but it's true. He also did talk about the Save America Act, which mandates voter ID and actually ends most mail-in ballots with a few exceptions. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think this is going to do anything to restore public confidence in voting, even with the high approval for voter ID, because I think the main issue right now with voting is not really who can and can't vote, but rather who's able to even get on the ballot in the first place. And especially with the duopoly's power to censor legitimate third-party options who have actual plans, unlike the Uniparty, who wants to install a one-party dictatorship. And sadly, that can only be solved by the state governments, which, depending on the state government, may be a good thing or a bad thing. And I'll be honest with you, I do not trust the North Carolina state government at all. So I do not have hope for my state government. So I do apologize. Trump also talked about Zohran Mamdani, and he basically just grifted off of him. He's so damn obsessed with Zohran Mamdani. Like, oh my god. During the time he talked about Zohran Mamdani, he said basically that in order to get a job or whatever, you need to get 2 forms of ID and a social security card to basically plow snow. Oh yeah, I remember that. But that's freaking ridiculous. A social security card, really, to plow snow? To plow snow! Think about it. You need 2 forms of ID and a social security card to plow snow. Anyways, the social security card really is basically trash nowadays because it really doesn't mean anything. Because social security is kind of a time bomb that's waiting to explode at any moment. Oh yeah, and speaking of ID, this past year has actually been nothing but corporations and governments mandating people to basically hand over your personal information and ID over in order to even use services on the internet. People have been complaining about this for years, and they've been complaining about this for a while. And there's nobody in charge that wants to do anything to stop the surveillance that is going on with some of these corporations such as YouTube, Facebook, and Roblox, which by the way are already attempting to use this as we speak. And some companies are already literally being exposed for data breaches when it comes to handling personal information as well. So yeah, this is not great either. So I really hope that things get better. I don't think they will, and I think this is one of those things where we will eventually move on from. And I'm very disappointed because this is something that we need to talk about. Hold on, I need to leave for a second. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. I am so sorry about that. So where were we? Oh yeah, Trump actually said during his speech that the Democrats were destroying this country, which is true, and that the Republican Party has stopped it, which is not true at all. The Republicans are still destroying this country to the point to where they are turning on Thomas Massie, literally all because he wanted to do the right thing for his constituents, and all because he was willing to work with Democrats. Wow, that's pretty sad. Oh yeah, Trump also said that his wife Melania is now a movie star, and who cares? So are most politicians. Look, I'm sure she did a lot of good things during the time that Donald Trump was president, but literally, who cares? I know I'm gonna sound mean, but who cares? Seriously, I don't care about the fact that she's a damn movie star. I have not even seen that documentary that she was in at all. Who cares? Literally, it sounds to me like this is just another celebrity just doing their own thing, and people are making a big deal about it. Who cares? Anyways, oh yeah, Trump also grifted on crime as well, and he also said that Congress should pass legislation to put violent and dangerous repeating offenders behind bars, which I think is a good idea, but I don't think he's serious about this at all. He goes on a spiel about law and order, and every time he says that, the Epstein files come out. So, yeah, he talks about how successful he's been in using law enforcement to stop protests, but it's actually making things worse by moving more people to the left. So yeah, basically the left is kind of winning on this one. So it is what it is. And oh yeah, and he also talks about record recruitment in the military. Cool. Most people literally don't care about it because people don't even trust the government or the military anymore, thanks to our damn foreign policy. Oh yeah, and he also mentioned that some troops were going to begin receiving a warrior dividend of $1,776. Again, how in the world are you going to pay for that? You said that it's going to be paid for by tariff money, but let's be real, I don't think that's true because I'm pretty sure there's not going to be enough tariff money out there to even cover that in the first place. But yeah, let's be real. It's either going to be paid for by taxpayer money or it's going to be funded for by debt. So, yeah. I am very skeptical about this program too. Oh yeah, and he also bragged about taking down a cartel kingpin as well. Was this person a bad guy? Probably, and I'm glad that Mexican officials were able to take him out. But dot dot dot. The fact that it was led by U.S. intelligence officers is kind of suspicious because I do not trust the U.S. government at all. So who knows? Could this become the next Epstein files? Could this be the next Gulf of Tonkin incident? Honestly, who knows nowadays? Who knows, literally. People are still talking about the conspiracy around JFK still to this day as well, so anything's possible. And with that being said, that's about it for my spiel on President Trump and his speech. My opinion about this overall, it just sounded a lot like Joe Biden's speeches back when Joe Biden was president. And I just don't see the difference between him. I just don't see the difference between Biden and Trump, like, at all. So, there's still some time left. Who else can we talk about? Oh yeah, that's right. The Democrats have made a response to Trump's speech as well. And just like Trump's speech, the Democratic response was pretty crap. So what happened with the Democrats, right? For those that didn't watch the speech, the Democrat who spoke for the Democratic Party was Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger. And yeah, at the beginning, throughout the entire speech, she seemed way too happy. Like she was like almost kind of like evil in a way, you know? Almost as though she realizes that she's literally using this platform as a way to grift in order to promote her public image to the public. Like seriously, she's only speaking so that she can boost her own image. That's it. She gave out a history about the chambers of the House of Burgesses in Virginia in relation to the founding of our country. Like, who cares? People literally do not care about what happened in the past. They want to know what's going on, like, right now. Seriously, people are not here for a history lesson. At least Trump didn't do that. Right? Anyways, oh yeah, and just like Trump, Miss Spanberger had her own hype men clapping for her in order to hype her up and to show how the Dems are owning the GOP, which when you think of it, that sounds a lot like slavery. So that's pretty scary. And yes, Miss Spanberger, of course we didn't hear the truth from the Republicans. We did not hear the truth from the Democrats either. And don't get me started about speaking plainly and honestly, because the North Carolina Democratic Party has not done that at all. I don't know about other states. I don't know about that. But all I know is that the North Carolina Democratic Party, which is a state that borders Virginia, is full of damn liars. You know it, I know it, and the people of North Carolina know it. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm back, everyone. I am so sorry about that. So, where were we? Oh yeah, the sacrificial lamb, Abigail Spanberger. In her speech, she actually asked 3 questions in relation to President Donald Trump. The first question that she asked was, is the president working to make life more affordable? No. And anyone who says that is literally coping with the fact that they don't get to have their one-party dictatorship whenever they want. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, Miss Spanberger, What are you doing to make life more affordable again? Like, what are you doing? Like, weren't you like a U.S. representative or something? Like, what about you? What have you done? Anyways, the next question that she asked was, is the president working to make people more safe at home and abroad? And we both agree, no. And unlike her, I also know that the Democratic Party is a pro-war party that is willing to get us involved in more conflicts, therefore making us less safe. So, yeah, there's that too. Oh yeah, and this third question, oh my god. Is the president working for you? I've asked the same question about I have asked the same question about that to myself over the past 10 years, ever since I got into politics when I was in high school. No, of course not. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, before I forget, she actually like let me see if I can find it for a second. Oh yeah, there it is. She basically asked this same specific question over and over and over again throughout her damn speech. And she even said multiple times, you know the answer to it. Well, if we know the answer to it, then why the hell are you asking us that question over and over and over again? If you already know, if you know that we know the answer to it, why in the world are you treating like as though we're stupid? It doesn't make any freaking sense, Miss Spamberger. But of course she doesn't care because all this is just a damn grift, just to boost her public image once again. Oh yeah, and speaking of grift, she actually used her campaign for governor and her election as a grift in order to make herself appear more relatable to the people of Virginia and to the American people than she really is. Okay, we get it. You won. Whatever. Can we please move on? And also, who gives a damn about how many seats you won in your state legislature? I. Bless you to me. I'm sorry about that. Wow, I'm so pissed off. I got to sneeze. That's how you know things are bad. Anyways, I don't live in your state, and the only reason why you won is because Virginia is a blue state and people hated Trump. That's it. People were not inspired to vote Democrat or any of that BS. She also mentioned her run for U.S. House, like I mentioned before, to inspire her party base to run, clearly proving that she is nothing but a damn puppet. And yes, costs are too high all over the place. Again, what are you doing to stop that from happening right now? You have the governor, you have a trifecta in the Virginia government, I believe. What are you doing to make life more affordable, huh? Okay, what else happened? Oh, yeah, and if you know that these conversations are being held all over the country, then why in the world are we having these damn speeches right now instead of working on policies that actually solve the problem? Like, seriously. I know I've said this before and I'll say it again. These speeches are nothing but a damn grift to make themselves look good. That's it. You complain about Trump's reckless trade policies and his tariffs, and you also even complain that the average American and the average worker pay the price for these tariffs. If you are seriously upset, then why are you not doing anything to curtail the effects of these policies? And look, I get it. You don't like President Trump. Nobody cares anymore. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Nobody has cared about Trump derangement syndrome ever since he won his first presidential term. Also, you're complaining about a tax hike when a wealthy politician like you benefits from a tax hike. Why would you complain about tax hikes when your political party has talked about tax hikes before? Like I've been hearing that the Democratic Party is in favor from tax hikes from what I've heard. So why are you complaining about that? And you also say that Republicans in Congress are unwilling to use their authority to stop Trump. That's true. So my next question for you is, where the hell were the Democrats when we needed them to use their authority to stop Joe Biden? Where was that? Where was it? Oh yeah, Miss Bamberger also talked about rural healthcare facilities being closed, and they're starting to close down. But let's be real, that was going to happen regardless of whoever was in office. Our country does not have a plan to basically reverse that trend, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think we'll ever have a plan to stop this. I think that our state governments are going to be way too busy focusing on the culture wars to even care about rural health facilities. And I think a lot of rural areas will eventually become more urbanized as time goes on. That's just my opinion. Oh, yeah, and she also played the card of stripping healthcare from millions of Americans. Yeah, this is a common Democrat talking point that people say a lot within the Democratic Party, anyways. This is also another ploy to make themselves sincere and caring to the people, even though they have no real plan on fixing the healthcare system. Oh yeah, this too. Why in the world are you using food programs and hungry kids as weapons for political gain? I also hear this as well. Like, why? Why are we trying to weaponize them? Why aren't we working on actually trying to stop that from happening? And Miss Bamberger, you also said that you are currently working with the state legislature to make things better for the people in Virginia. And I'll be honest with you, I do call madcap on it because you literally made that speech, so I already don't trust you like at all. And also, let's be real, just like how the Democrats do not give a damn about democracy, they do not give a damn about affordability at all. They are way too busy focusing on trying to take down third parties across the country so that they can try to install a one-party dictatorship in the United States, just like the Republicans. We have seen this happen in North Carolina in regards to ballot access laws and the lawsuits. And thank God the Democrats have failed in North Carolina. In fact, right now we are currently waiting for the General Assembly to craft a bill to reject upcoming rules that we have sent to the that we are currently opposing right now, that we have sent to the Rules Review Commissions up for legislative review in regards to changes in the petitioning process. And I've talked a lot about that in my podcast, so I won't go through that again. If you want things to change, please, if you seriously want things to change, either vote third party, vote unaffiliated, vote write-in, vote none of the above, or don't vote at all. Seriously, you will be doing your country a massive service. And you also gave out a background about yourself, Miss Bamberger. I know you did that as well. Who cares? I really all giving all this thing all the ads of and all the speeches about giving a background to yourself to make yourself more relatable. It's just a grift. Lots of people don't care. I know it sounds mean, but it's true. And I don't give a damn about who you are because I know you are a symbol of the establishment. You're a former federal agent. You are a former CIA officer. You were a part of the police state. Actually, are you still a part of the police state? I think she still is. So, I mean, that makes sense considering that in her speech she did say that she is or she has been working with police in order to uphold and enforce the law. Sorry about that. And during your speech, you also mentioned about building trust as well. Building trust for who? The establishment, the uniparty, the national Bolshevik regime. What are you talking about? Who are you building trust for? I know it's not with the people. Like, come on. Okay, and yes, Trump has sent federal agents to arrest Americans without a warrant. So have the Democrats. So why do you think we don't trust you? And oh yeah, and also in your speech, you also said that every minute spent in fear is a minute not investigating murders and crimes. Okay, then why is the Democratic Party spreading fear? Huh? Explain that to me. You want to protect us from global threats. Then how about ending the Democratic and Republican parties instead of trying to end civilizations and countries instead? But instead, all I hear is we need to protect ourselves from what we think are foreign threats instead of actually trying to focus on security. Oh yeah, and also, what's up with the Russia talk? Like, seriously, you gotta get over this Russiagate thing. And you're also concerned about China? Really? Look, our foreign policy is literally making China stronger. Us bombing other countries is literally giving China more clout. Like, for a country that is supposed to hate China, we sure seem to love giving China more positive reputation. So, yeah, that's not that great as well. Look, the United States has, like I said before, the United States government has not been a force for good since World War II because of our foreign policy. But let's be real, Miss Bamberger has been very, very smug throughout her speech, and she talks about how unserious the Republicans are, which they are. But let's be real, the Democratic Party is also equally unserious about what they stand for. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, she is a puppet of the Democratic Party. Yes, Trump did lie. Yes, he scapegoated. And yes, Trump distracted. Oh, wait a second. So did the Democrats. Oh my god. And yes, Trump offered no real solutions to our challenges. Again, neither did the Democrats. And yes, Trump tries to divide us, enrage us, and turn us against each other. Yes, that is true. But guess what? So did the Democrats when Biden was president. Again. I know. I've been going a lot of times. That's how you know that there is no difference between Democrats and Republicans. And that is something that third parties do agree on in general. Hold on. I need to take care of something once again. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, this next part right here, right? Who benefits from Trump's rhetoric, policies, and actions? I know the answer to that. It's you. It's you, the Democrats, Trump himself, of course, and the Republicans, and everyone who is in the establishment. If you didn't benefit from Trump, then maybe, just maybe, you would actually fight for what you stand for. But let's be real, Miss Spanberger, you benefit from Trump's policies and Trump's plans, okay? So let's get that over with. And okay, look, we get it. The Republican Party is just as corrupt as the Democratic Party. We get it. And yes, I know it's annoying that Trump is putting up a lot of his names into federal stuff. Guess what? Lots of presidents do it all the time. But let's be real, our opinion does not matter at all. Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? I think there's a fighter pilot plane that's being named after George W. Bush, I believe. And look, let's be real. If something has not already been named to Obama, something's gonna be named after Obama soon. Okay. I encourage all ordinary citizens to please, once again, stop throwing your vote away for the two-party system. Voting for Democrat or Republican is a wasted vote. Please vote for someone that actually has a real impact or has a chance at making real impact in your communities. Not the fake impact that the Dems and the GOP have given us for the last 250 years. Seriously, stop wasting your vote on Democrat or Republican. And also, she did also talk about the governor of Texas. Let's be real. I'm sure she and the governor of Texas, I'm sure that Miss Spanberger and the governor of Texas get along just fine. I'm sure they have a backroom deal that they both benefit from. Don't know what that is. Don't really care what that is. What matters is they're the establishment. And also, I highly doubt that you're actually inspired by the bravery of ordinary citizens. In fact, please stop throwing independents around like you are entitled to our votes when you're not. Yeah, she talked about independent voters as to how she won her election. She sees us as a damn joke, guys. Please do not listen to her. Oh yeah, and she also mentioned that New Jersey elected a Democrat for governor. Who cares? The state is blue. The Democrats were expected to win. And the only reason why the race for governor had actually narrowed in recent years is because the Democrats had packed a terrible candidate. So get over it. You keep mentioning races that people don't care about because these races either have little impact or they were already blue in the first place. They're not an indicator as to who will win the U.S. House or the U.S. Senate in 2026. Like, get over it. Like, who cares? What matters is the finish line and not the obstacles along the way. But, oh my God, what am I saying? I'm so frustrated. Look, let's be real. We all know that the Democratic Party is not working for us. And they've already proven that they're not different from Republicans. And at the end of her speech, Miss Bamberger referenced George Washington, right? And yes, Washington warned us about the cunning, ambitious, and unprincipled men. And yes, he encouraged Americans to unite and move forward. But let's be real. Let's be real for a second, right? If we do want to move forward, if we want to make things better for ourselves, once again, we need to stop wasting our vote on Democrat and Republican, vote third party, vote independent. We need to fight back. With that being said, that's going to be it for my response to the State of the Union as an unaffiliated. I really hope this was all right. I know this was not good, so I do apologize. My opinion with the Democratic response is pure sacrificial lamb, pure grift, pure waste of time. And I'll be honest with you, she's not serious about what she stands for. So with that being said, I hope you all have enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Peace.